only knew the power of the dark side, it is your destiny.
Hello everyone, this is Tate the Gate, and I'm bringing you an article out of Cleveland.com. It was written on September the 4th, 2014, and this is titled Kidnapping, Sex Crime, Conviction Wrongly Overturned, Supreme Court Rules by Robert Higgins of the Northeast Ohio Media Group. And it says here that the Ohio Supreme Court Thursday reversed a decision by an appellate court in Cuyahoga County that overturned a man's conviction on kidnapping and sex crime charges. It says here the defendant, James Tate II, won before an Ohio 8th District Court of Appeals and ruled that his conviction was improper because there was not sufficient evidence that identified him as the perpetrator. In a 7-0 opinion, the Ohio Supreme Court said the appellate court was wrong and ordered the case back to the 8th District to correct its ruling. The case stemmed from an incident in February 2011 in which a 14-year-old girl at the Euclid Public Library was with friends and who was approached by a man who gave her a business card and told her about a study group meeting at a library nearby. And he walked away, and while they were walking together outside the library, a man had asked her to perform a sexual act. At about that time, the girl's cell phone buzzed, and she told the man that her mother was back at the library and they returned. I don't know if she was with the man or with the friends. It doesn't really specify in this. But the girl notified the Euclid police, who began looking for the man at the library. So if you were walking and you didn't know the age of somebody, but you asked them whether or not you wanted to hook up or something, and they claim that this is kidnapping. So it says here, without knowing the girl's age, she told the man that her mother was back at the library, and they returned, notifying the police. And the police called the phone number of the business card that James Tate II answered on his cell phone, and he was convicted in December 2011 for kidnapping, importuning, gross sexual imposition, and public indecency, and sentenced to 7 years in prison. So if this guy was a pedophile and approaching a 5-year-old, that would be egregious, but there is no idea of any illegality in the asking, I suppose, when you don't know who and what the person's age is, but that's neither here nor there. It says here that the 8th District Court in February 2013 ruling noted that the girl, not her friends, indirectly identified that neither the girl or friends directly identified Tate as the suspect, and there was not sufficient evidence in their testimony that he, Tate, was the man that they were referring to. So keep that in mind. And Justice Judith French wrote that the evidence in Tate's identity was overwhelming, that any rational finder of fact could have easily concluded beyond a reasonable doubt that Tate was the man referred to in the girl's testimony. However, French cited that Tate's own statements to the police and testimony during the trial that he was the man that approached the teen, and there were photo IDs that he used that were presented at the trial, and there was surveillance video from the library and the flyers that Tate gave the girls bearing his name. It says that the Court of Appeals disagreed but inexplicably omitted this evidence from its opinion. So if there was evidence supporting him being at the library and whatnot, is that evidence of him telling this girl, for the girl to ID him and the friends to ID him? No, they're totally apples and oranges here. It says here, French wrote after suggesting that the girl and her friends were the only witnesses who testified at the trial, the Court of Appeals concluded that there was not sufficient evidence, circumstantial or otherwise, that he is the man that is repeatedly referenced in the testimony of the victim and her two friends. So they basically manufactured evidence to arrest this person based on false evidence that was presented. So the girls are saying that that's not him, and the police are saying, yes, that is him, and he was arrested on these charges, and I might say illegally arrested on these charges. Well, we'll see what happens during the appeal, but for now, it was overturned, and it says that the Ohio Supreme Court will go back these and revisit these, and I will try to find out what the outcome is eventually, but that's a scary thought that you're like any other red-blooded person and you hand out a business card to somebody and then somebody else approaches these people and they say that it was you and it wasn't you. And you're like, yeah, I was there, but I didn't say that. Well, you're looking at being arrested for kidnapping and importuning and all kinds of other crimes. That's just strange and weird. This is Tate the Gate. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Signing out.